In this video, we're going to talk about the laws of exponents. First law is when any number is raised to the zero power. When we have a number raised to the zero power, the answer is 1. An example is 7 to the 0 equals 1, and x to the 0 is equal to 1. So anytime we raise a number or a variable to the zero power, the answer is 1. The second law is when we raise a number or a variable to the first power. When we raise a number or a variable to the first power, the answer is the number or the variable itself. An example is 7 to the first power is 7, and x to the first power is x. The third law is when we multiply terms. So if the bases are similar or the same, we keep the base and we add the exponents. An example is when we multiply 7 to the third by 7 to the ninth, we have the same base, which is 7. That means all we need to do to find the answer is to add the exponents. 3 plus 9 is 12. Same thing when we have variables. We have x to the second multiplied by x to the fifth. All we need to do is to add the exponents. 2 plus 5 is 7, since we have the same base. The fourth law is when we divide terms with the same base. We keep the base and we subtract the exponents. So if we have 7 to the ninth divided by 7 to the third, since we have the same base, which is 7, we can subtract the exponents. 9 minus 3 equals 6. Same thing if we have a variable. X to the 7th divided by x to the 4th. Since we have the same base, which is x, we can subtract the exponent. 7 minus 4 equals 3. The fifth law is when we raise a power to a power. When we raise a power to a power, we need to keep the base and multiply the exponents. An example is 7 to the second raised to the fifth. So we have two powers. We have 2 and 5 with the same base, which is 7. So all we need to do is to keep the base, which is 7, and multiply the exponents. 2 times 5 is 10. Same thing if we have a variable. X to the third raised to the fourth, we need to multiply the exponents since we have a power to a power. 3 times 4 equals 12. The sixth law is when we have a product to a power. When we have a product raised to the same power, we need to distribute the power. Let's take an example. We have 7 times 3 to the second. What we can do is to distribute the 2 and end up with 7 to the second multiplied by 3 to the second. Same thing is when we have variables. If we have x, y, and z raised to the third power, we can distribute the power. So we're going to end up with x to the third, y to the third, and then multiplied by z to the third. And that's called distributing the power. The seventh law is when we have a negative power. We can change the negative power by using the reciprocal of the base to raise that to the positive power. And an example is 7 to the negative 2 can be changed into a positive power by using the reciprocal of the 7, which is 1 over 7. So we're going to end up with 1 over 7 to the second, which is 1 over 49. Same thing can happen when we have variables. X to the negative 3 can be changed into a positive power by using the reciprocal of x, which is 1 over x raised to the third power.